Okay, so I'm going to be explaining and analyzing the situation that Fly High Airlines are explaining. Yeah. So, a little background information on the problem that they're facing. So, Fly High Airlines is having a decline in their revenue, and they are facing an incline in all the cost prices that they are paying. So, if you can see in the appendix, you can see that the revenue is going from 100 to 97 to 92 in 2019, and the baggage claim which they're paying for is going from 2 to 4 to 7, and the hangar fees is also going from 10 to 12 to 16 now. So going on to the next slide, you can see the three biggest problems are baggage claim and hangar fees that you can see in the appendix. And one other problem is the glitches and the bugs that are there in the website that I will speak about later. So the first problem is the baggage claim, which you could see there was a major spike in 2019. As a solution, one, we could make a request to the airport to lower the prices, because sometimes if you make a good deal with them and you have a very comprehensive with the airport will not want to let go of you, and they will listen to you and lower the fees a little of the baggage claim at the airport. The second solution could be make the passengers take their baggage on board with them. So if the aircraft is big enough to handle passengers and baggage on board, then there would be no reason of having a baggage claim. And since the most of the flights of Fly High Airlines are domestic, this should not be a big problem for them. And this this strategy has been implemented by different airlines before and has worked out very positively for them. The next solution could be reducing the baggage allowance. I specifically do not agree to this solution because it only should be used if it's very extreme. Because if you reduce the baggage allowance, then you would also see a further decline in passengers, because most people like to choose airlines which have more baggage allowance than the ones with less. And if you see there's a reduce in baggage allowance, then they would rather go to your competitors than come to you. So now to the next problem, the hanger problem. So I think that not having a hanger is uh, another big problem. So that could not be a solution, because there could be many termites and many other issues that might come with it. So having a hanger is very, very important. But the cost of the hanger is increasing day by day and year by year. So I think that solutions for that could be having a smaller hanger. So having a smaller hangar that is closer to the airport could mean that it could be easier to maintain, and you will not have so much issues in maintaining it, which could one lower the hangar fees. Second could be contacting your insurance company. So if in your contractor agreement, if you have issued having this problem, then your insurance company could handle it for you and speak to the airport indirectly, mentioning the issue which you might receive help for if your insurance company is good enough for handling it. And the third solution, which I think is the most feasible one and I think should be implemented by the airline, should be permanently buying the hangar. So if you're thinking that your business is going well and you think of this airlines as a long-term plan, then I think that permanently buying the hangar would be very feasible, because you might take a hit in the starting of the year and the starting of buying that hangar, but later the money you save of paying rent to the airport would be a profit for you and would be a big plus side. So which is why I think that that's the best solution for this issue. So other ways to boost the sales. So I think that you should make a partnership with other airline companies. And I think that this solution has implemented before and has been a big positive for Star Airlines when they had a partnership with Jet Airways before it Jet Airways when it was there. So Star Airlines received a major spike in all their sales because Jet Airways was a very trusted airlines and many people used to buy that. And when they made an alliance with Jet Airways, they of course saw a spike with them, which is why I think that for Fly High company, because this is only the third year and they're not that experienced, I think that for having a boost in sales, they should have a alliance with another big company, which they can break later when they are big themselves. Another could be deal or making a deal with the airport people. So I think that the two issues that we had before were both related to uh, the airport, and I think that making a deal or a contract with them would be very good, so that you're saving money for for the hangar issue and for the baggage claim. And plus, the airport would also receive profits, and they would also have a guarantee that you're staying over there for a long time. So I think that you could make more money with ad revenue. So there are many in-flight options of magazines and food and many other things through which you could make ad revenue and make other people put their ads in your plane, which is some extra solutions for making extra money for the plane. And now I think that the last two issues are improvising and fixing website problems. So I think this is one of the biggest problems because more than 60 to almost 80% people book their flight airlines bookings online. And since this is domestic, most people don't know how to book airlines properly because they're not that educated in that field. So I think that having an easy to understand and non buggy website would be very important. And if they have some technical people handling that issue, then and uh, uh, your website is very good visually, then I think that you would see a major spike in sales. Yeah. So some technical improvisations that the flight could receive so that the in-flight service could be better. So I think that this is required because people leave a lot of good reviews after they have a good flight, and people leave a lot of bad reviews if they have a bad flight. And through that, websites track which flights are good and which are bad, which is why I think that a few technical improvisations would leave a very good review from most of the passengers. So the first 3 to 4 points, I'll be mentioning how your landing could be safe. So you could remove and install a landing gear, replace the elastic shock absorber cords on landing gear, service landing gear air shocks by adding oil. So I think that these 3 points are all a major concern because most flight wrecks and flight crashes that happen are during landing, and if you follow these 3 points, then it almost minimizes your risk of having a flight crash, and which I think that if which you shouldn't take a gamble on. And if you do, then and if you do and if your flight crashes, then you would receive a very bad image for because you're just starting your airlines business, and such a hit would not be recommended at all. So the next one I'm going to be talking about is replacing your safety seat belts. So I think that replacing your seat belts is very crucial because if you see, most airlines have very bad seat belts, and almost one out of every five comments are regarding that online, which is why I think that's very important. Next will be replacing your fuel lines, and the next 2 points will be that So I think that the fuel of airlines is very important, and now in the modern day there are many import improvised and modernized fuels that make airlines go faster. This might cost a little more, but in the long run, I think that it would help you because most people check the timings from one destination to another when they are online booking a flight. And I think that if they see that this flight is the fastest way of going to a place, then I think that that would increase your chance of people buying your flight instead of your competitors. And replace your connections. So your onboard lights, that's what I mean by connections. So your lights could be replaced by better ones, as you can see in the image. There's a good blue lighting, and I think that most passengers have also commented online. And after the seat belts, this was the second most so problem on websites. So I think that the lighting of a plane could really set a mood of a person if it's good or bad, because that's the first thing that you see after you enter a plane. And if you see lighting like this that's there, then I think that that could really improve your comments and reviews that people leave behind.